my last video, I showed how to lay a Mannington vinyl plank floor over WarmStep radiant heating mats on a concrete slab.
Oh, that's gonna be toasty in the winter.
That part was easy enough for any DIYer to do. Click the YouTube card at the top to watch it now if you missed it. In this video, I'm going to show you the hard part, the planning process, and the actual wiring of the thermostats to the electric panel. Once upon a time, a boy met a girl working for a mouse. They fell in love and realized they'd never own their own home working for the mouse. So they packed up a big truck and moved to New Jersey, lived in a basement to save money for a year, and bought a foreclosure to fix up while they lived there. This is their story. This video was sponsored by Mannington and Thermosoft. One of the hardest things when you're planning an underfloor heating project is, especially since they're electric, is to have enough electric service. So we're going to have three zones, three separate thermostats down here. One is going to be this entryway here that goes up the steps and comes in from the garage door over here. And number two is going to be the bedroom over here, which is now like our storage area. And for that, there'll be a thermostat here for the foyer and a thermostat on the other side for the bedroom. And the other zone will be this family room plus a small mat in the bathroom here and a small mat in the laundry room as well. And this one is the largest, obviously, because it's such a big room. And we're going to be putting like 4 big mats in here. This size has to be 220 volts, but the other size, the other two, can be 110 volts. So I ran one circuit to feed those two 110 thermostats. And in here, because the walls are open, I ran another wire here. This one right here. I'm going to cut a hole and put another thermostat on the other side here. And that's what's happening there. Now, to run these wires, I took advantage of the fact that my ceiling was open here. I had to open the ceiling to run all the wires for the lights here and to run the wires over there for those lights. So, and I also am running a water line for my refrigerator above. I don't like the water line that's there, so we're putting in a new one. But of course, to run these wires through the ceiling was easy because I could cut it open. And then they come down in here. Now these are the two circuits. One is the 110 and the other is the 220. And they go that way. So that way is that way, and it runs right through here into the garage. Now, 2 circuits. I'm going to have gray conduit come out of this hole, and it's going to go all the way around the perimeter to the electric panel over there. I started by making a floor plan of the basement to lay out the heating mats I'd need. WarmStep mats come in 1.5 or 3 foot widths and lengths from 2 feet to 24 feet. They also have 2 voltages, either 120 or 240 volts. I separated the basement into 3 zones. Zone 1 would be the den, laundry room, and bathroom. The 18-foot mats in the den only came in 240 volts, so the whole zone needed to be 240 volts because you can't mix voltages within a zone. Zone 2 was the entryway between the garage and the steps going upstairs. And Zone 3 was the guest bedroom, which they'd be using as a home office most of the time. The mats in the entryway and bedroom were short enough to use 120 volts. To size the circuits, I needed to add up the amperage of each mat, which I found on the website. In the den, each of my 3x18 mats would use 2 amps each. The laundry room used 0.66 amps, and the bathroom would use 0.55 amps. So the total load would be 9.21 amps at 240 volts. That meant I could use 12-2 wire with a double 20 amp breaker for this circuit. I did the same load calculation for the entryway and needed 6.12 amps at 120 volts there. Likewise, the bedroom added up to 7.13 amps at 120 volts. Since the entryway and bedroom needed a little over 13 amps combined, I could use a single 20 amp circuit with 12 2-wire to power both of those thermostats. I couldn't use a 15 amp circuit because you should only plan to use 80% of the rated load. Here you can see 12 gauge wire and a 20 amp breaker can be used for up to 16 amps. Alright, the first thing you need to do before you put any of the mats down is test them out. And on every one of them, they come with a label that says what the ohm meter reading should be. So you really need a digital meter. This one is set to 200. And then, let me try to do this with one hand. It says it should be 97.5 plus or minus 5%. So we cross that. Whoops. And it's 93. That is well within 5%. So we're good. So far, all the mats have been fine, which is a good thing. All three thermostats came with a remote sensor that needed to be embedded into the concrete a little because they were just a little too thick. I held them in place with a dab of hot glue. Lift. Got a toilet. We don't have a door, but we have a toilet. The second part of the floor was installed exactly the way we showed in part 1. But the heat mats in the entryway were a little more challenging because I needed to carefully route the wires to the thermostats there. I held the lead wires in place with little dabs of hot glue. I also glued the corners of the mats to hold them in place while we worked. How nice this looks. To me. Okay, good. After all the flooring was done, I turned my focus to the wiring. The lead wires from the mats are hidden in the gap at the edge of the flooring below the drywall. I taped them together and fished them to the junction boxes low on the wall. Some areas require the lead wires to be routed in conduit in the wall, so be sure to check your local codes. If you're not sure, you might want to hire an electrician. It's important to protect the lead wires, and I probably should have installed metal protector plates to prevent me from nailing through them, but I installed baseboard with one nail into each stud, so I knew I wouldn't hit them. Before trimming any lead wires, I tested the resistance one more time to make sure nothing was damaged during installation. Note the red and black wires are the 240 volt mats, and the white and black wires are the 120 volt mats. Using junction boxes made the thermostat connections much easier. That way, I only needed to deal with the sensor wire and 2 electric cables, one for power in and the other going to the mats. The thermostats have 2 screws for line and 2 for load. The line is for the wires coming from the circuit breaker panel. The load is for the wires going to the heating mats. Electric heat has no polarity, so it doesn't matter which side gets white and which gets the black. The final step was to connect the 2 new circuits to the breaker panel in the garage. Codes vary all around the world, and I'm not here to tell you how to do this. I'm just showing you what we did. Please hire a local electrician if you're not sure what's required in your area. Now, months ago when I ran these lines, I marked This one is the 110 line, so the other one is the 220. We turned off all the circuit breakers and then turned off the main breaker before opening the electric panel. Alright, so the conduit comes all the way over. The two wires come in there and straight down, and I brought them through the knockouts at the top. I'm going fast through this area intentionally because I'm not here trying to teach you how to modify and add circuits to your breaker panel. This is just part of the job, but if you're not sure what to do, you really please hire an electrician. Alright, the installation is complete. I've got my two new breakers here. This side is the 220. That has the black and the white connected to it. And each one of those legs is 110 volts, but when you cross them together, it becomes 220, so that's what that circuit needs. The other side over here is the 110. This goes for the bedroom floor as well as the foyer. So those mats were small enough, those areas were small enough that they only needed 110. So now I'm ready to turn it back on and power the house, and then we'll test out the thermostats. Now to turn the house power back on, it is very important that all the breakers are in the off position, and then you put the main breaker on. And it takes some force. Okay. And then, one at a time, turn on your circuits. These two are still left off at the moment. I'm going to test them now. All right, time to go turn the power on. Ground fault test. Good. Now this is where you need the distributor ID off of the box. Now this is a laminate floor, so I'm going to put it at 82 degrees. You can go hotter with tile, but laminate you have to stay low. And if you want, you can actually customize it and put the max temperature yourself. All right, the floor is heating, and we're going to let it heat for a while and make sure that all the areas are getting warm. This Mannington vinyl plank floor was such a great choice for the basement, and the WarmStep radiant heat works great and keeps it nice and cozy. Now the den is everyone's favorite room in the house. Be sure to ask Thermosoft for the HandyDadTV discount when you call. We've done so much to this house already, but there's a lot more to come. So be sure to subscribe and watch every episode of The Living Flip.